The saying is that a dog is a man's best friend. But a man is also a dog's best friend. Where we rely on our dogs for a lot of things like comfort, love, protection, dogs rely on us for a lot of things too. Like comfort, love, and protection, but also like feeding and walking and training and also bathing. Bathing is really important because nobody wants to lay on the couch and snuggle with a stinky puppy. You want to make sure your puppy is feeling nice and clean for those late night cuddles when you're binging TV. In order to keep bath time de-stressful for you, de-stressful for the dog, quick for you and quick for the dog, you want to go ahead and follow these simple procedures. It'll just make the whole process a lot easier. Your first step is to make sure you have all your supplies laid out in front of you. A towel for drying, nail clippers for nail trimming, a thermometer to check the temperature of the water, soap, of course, a cup for water, and just something that helps is training treats so that you can keep them comfortable and make the experience a little more enjoyable. Once you have all your supplies laid out in front of you and they're there, you're going to go ahead and take your dog. You want to make sure you have your water at a good temperature. You want to take your thermometer. You want to run it under the water until it's about 97 degrees. This is a good temperature. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. If the water's too cold, it could be uncomfortable. If the water's too hot, it can be really uncomfortable and just make the experience stressful for your dog. So you want to make sure your temperature is at a good temp. Then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and put your thermometer down and you take your dog. You're going to pick them up, you're going to give them love, give them some treats, make sure they're comfortable before you just throw them into the tub. Then you're going to gently place them down, making sure that they're loved. Having an extra set of hands can help too to keep them still. You're going to take your cup of water, you're going to run it under the water to get water in it. Then you're going to pour the water from the neck down to the bottom. You're going to pour it down, and then I like to run my hand down the back like this. And it just kind of helps spread the water evenly and get them nice and damp. You want to make sure you're getting all their feet, their belly, their tail, their bottom, and their neck up here. Getting them after they're all wet and ready, you're going to go ahead and grab your soap. I like to use gentler soaps. This is a extra gentle soothing oatmeal soap. It just helps not to irritate their skin, especially if you have dogs like allergies like I do. You're going to take your soap and you're just going to put 2 quarter-sized dabs on their back. And then you're going to take your hands and you're just going to rub it in. It's just like washing your hair, shampoo, conditioner. You're just going to scrub it in, making sure you scrub their feet, all 4 of them. You're going to make sure you scrub their belly, their chest, their bottom, their tail, and their neck. Once they're all soaked down from the neck down, you're going to go ahead and take your cup again, run it under the water, get some water, pour the water down the back, and do the same thing you did when you were doing the water before. You're going to run your hand down the back. This is going to help get all the soap off. You want to make sure you rinse all your soap off your dog because leaving soap on the skin could hurt them. It could irritate their skin. Now that you've noticed that I haven't done the head yet, that's because I like to save it for the last because it is stressful for the dogs. You want to go ahead and take their head. When you pour the water on their head, you want to do it really slowly, but you also want to make sure that you cover their ears because if they get water in their ears, they could get an ear infection, and that would be awful. So you want to go ahead, cover their ears, gently pour the water down their head, like so, and just make sure that you're not doing it too rough. You're taking your time, you don't want to stress the dog out. Then you're going to go ahead and take your soap, just a little in the palm of your hand, and you're going to rub it on their head. I like to start with their head, get the outside of their ears. You don't want to go on the inside. You want to take your fingers and just rub around their nose. It's a good idea to use your fingers, especially with smaller dogs, so you're not getting soap in their eyes and stuff. You're going to get their chin. You just want to make sure you're getting all the dirt and grime off their face. Once you've soaped up the face, you're going to take your cup again. This time you want to make sure you're covering your ears and your eyes at the same time. And then you're going to slowly pour your water down just so gently so that you're not stressing them out again. You want to just make sure that you're getting all the water off. You can push it off. Once you have all your water off, your dog is de-sudsed and de-soaped. You want to make sure that all the soap is off, and then you're going to go ahead and set them down out of the tub. Hopefully you don't mind your bathroom getting a little wet because they're probably going to shake. They're going to get you wet, your floor wet, and your walls wet. Be ready for wet. You're going to go ahead and grab your towel. I like to use a softer towel just so it's not rough and itchy on them. Then you're going to take it and you're just going to wrap them up. And I like to just rub them down. You don't have to get them perfectly dry because they're pretty good at drying themselves, from running around. You're just going to go around, rub their feet, rub their bottom and their tails. Make sure you're scrubbing the face, getting them nice and dry. Once they're to like a damp, you're probably good. If you're really looking for an extra dry, you can always use a hair dryer. But you want to make sure that it's on low heat so it doesn't burn the dog. I just feel like a hair dryer is not necessary with the dog with a short coat. Then you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna take your puppy who smells real good, you're gonna grab him. Next is nail trimming. Nail trimming can be super scary, but it's super easy if you know how to do it. You wanna make sure that you're only trimming the thin part of the nails on the bottom. There's a thick part on top and a thin part on the bottom. You wanna make sure you don't trim too far because just like our nails, if you trim them too short, it hurts and it bleeds. So you're gonna very carefully trim them all. It helps to have somebody giving them treats at the same time, just so it's enjoyable for them, so they're not scared of getting their nails trimmed next time. It just makes things easier in the future. Once you have all their nails trimmed, they're nice and clean, you can always, give them a jacket or dress them up if you're into that. And you're gonna take your dog, you're gonna walk to the couch and you're gonna give him a nice snuggle because he's nice and clean, you're de-stressed and he's de-stressed and he got a bath.